I've been feeling so good lately. Hey. I've been feeling so good lately. I've been feeling so good lately. I don't know, but I ain't crazy. But I've been feeling so good lately. Giving praise to the one who made me. Giving praise to the one who made me. I've been feeling so good lately. Hey, I've been feeling so good lately. Hey, I got magic because my mama raised me. I'm a daddy's baby. another place. Occupy my own space. Take you to another place. Hey. That's how someone's feeling. I just seen an airplane and somebody's like, take me to another place. I seen an airplane in the sky and then I seen like 2 birds flying too. Somebody's like, hey, take me to another place. Take me to another place. Sometimes I want to get away. Sometimes I want to get away. Hey, maybe outer space. Maybe outer space. Hey, sometimes I want to get away. Don't look the other way. Don't look the other way.
Hey,
Don't look the other way. Hey, sometimes I want to get away. Send me to another place so I can do it my way. Sometimes I want to get away.
hey, Tribe.
What's up, y'all? Hope you guys are doing well, in positive energy and attracting the life you desire, because it's your birthright. Okay, of course we're coming through with another one for you guys. Send you guys love right back. Mwah, right?
Definitely.
Thank you for all your love, all your support. We love you guys so much, right? Of course we're coming through with another live. Take this one how it resonates in your life. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend. Share the video out, right? We need more people to be able to get the message. There's so many people that need the message. Yep, confirmation with the bird in the sky. There's so many people that need the message and maybe they just haven't come across the message, right? So share the video out if you can, right? If that's your only way to support, then we're cool with that, right? Just share the video out. But Spirit says there's people that need these messages. So let's get into the energy.
Definitely. Hey, Tribe. Pray everyone is having a great day. Fruitful, hopefully eventful, as I always say. I want to say God bless you. Of course, we're here to get into this reading. And I did want to say something that came to my intuition very quickly. And it's, just make yourself more available, right? Instead of, you know, maybe you're looking for it to come from other people, different words of encouragement, maybe. And that could lead you to kind of like being real harsh and judgmental on others. When you're dependent upon others for your next move and then they let you down with their actions, you be like, oh man, what do I supposed to? So make yourself more available for your intuitions to reach you, for you to be in contact with God, your ancestors. Be more available. Make yourself more available. Right.
And I feel like there's a lot of commotion in the energy. Like I just feel a lot of look, the birds is like, I don't know.
They're flying right by.
You know, it's a lot of commotion going on right now. You know, I feel like there's a lot going on, you know, around us as a whole, right? So it's very important for us to focus on, you know, the task at hand, you know, the purpose, the job, you know, what needs to be done. I feel like there's so many distractions around. I hear like...
I didn't want to say this, right? I did not want to say the spirit is like, just go ahead. But the sirens being around, the drama that you feel, what the birds are saying, and what a message that we received. We received a message from a respected person, and they said that karma is spinning the block for certain people. So stay prayed up at this time during this retrograde.
Yeah, okay, right? it's just a lot of commotion kind of energy. You know, this is the energy where it's like, stay out the way. You know, I'm here to stay
All
out the
day.
way. Like,
Stay
you know,
out
just
the
stay
way
out the
energy.
way. You know, sometimes we just need to stay out the way, you know, really knowing where our lane is, you know, and I'm cool with that. You know, staying in my own lane keeps me protected, right? When I go out of my lane is when I'm typically in a danger zone, right? So I stay in my own lane, and I feel like, you know, as a collective, that's the message. You know, I feel like there's so much commotion going around, you know, and it's crazy because we had an event in our life where a person was supposed to go somewhere, and it just wasn't sitting right. And you know, I feel like the person was blocked from being able to go where they wanted to go because it's just too much commotion where they're trying to go.
5 of Wands.
Right? It's too much energy around right now. It's like,
Yeah,
it's so much commotion, chaos, confusion kind of energy right now. You know, we're also building up to a full moon. So you guys already know how that goes when the full moon is coming in. You already know they cooking up the spell work.
Retrograde,
you know,
full
the
moon,
retrograde. It's so much energy, right?
Moon
You know,
in
it's
September.
a lot of,
There's a lot of moon energy going down.
Yeah.
You know.
So, you know, and then, you know, the moon is feminine energy. So that's, you know, that's moods, that's ministration, that's change, that's transformation, you know. So it's a lot of energy balled up into what's going on right now. So you could be feeling this. It's very important to keep yourself grounded, steady. I'm here steady. Like, I'm seeing the 2 of Wands in my vision. If I could envision a card, it would be the 2 of Wands, right? I see someone standing with 2 wands firm, you know, like, even if you imagine like a person on crutches, you know, when you're on crutches, you're still a soldier because you still have to you have to use those 2 things and try to walk, right? Because you want to get your strength back, right? So same kind of thing. I see, you know, us as a collective, we have our crutches down and we're walking through whatever, you know. It's war out here. It's spiritual, right? So, you know, fighting spiritual wars, sometimes it shows up physically, right? It does.
What? In this case, it definitely could be some fighting going on. Like, you got the 10 of Wands in reverse to the discernment. 20 could be significant. And this 10 of Wands in reverse, it says, doing it all, carrying the burden, struggles, delegation, release, overstressed, burnt out, and depressed, right? Somebody in their shadow, right? You moving in your shadow, and maybe you feel like you're forced to do so. What is he saying? I'm moving in my shadow. Do you know taking on the burden of others is your shadow? You in your shadow energy. Like, if somebody's placing a burden on you, and you decide in your mind, like, okay, I'm going to just let this burden rest on me. I'm not going to say nothing. I'm going to just grit my teeth in silence, and I'm going to bear it. You moving in your shadow. Because the way around that would be to, first of all, discernment. Discern that you are effectively in low vibration. Somebody like, well, I'm there for this. I'm there for people. Yeah, you low. That's a low vibration because you overextending. 10 of Wands in reverse, right here. It's like you in an energy where.
How can you help somebody if you can't help yourself?
Yeah, it's overbearing, right? And it's causing the 5 of Wands. Remember, she was like, it's confusion and chaos. That's it, right there. 5 of Wands, and you know it can lead to the physical because I'm in 10 of Wands energy, moving around, right? Frustrated. I'm aggravated. I'm irritated. So I begin to emit that around me. So it causes chaos and confusion, or the other way around. I'm peaceful. I'm peaceful, and it's going on around me, right? But I now let that they become a part of me.
And not only that, in the physical, now my blood pressure is high. I have headaches. You know what I'm saying? My spirit is disturbed. Okay, I'm probably out of alignment at this point.
The age, number 43 could be significant. You could be 43 in the energy. You could be 34 in the energy as well, right? 42, easily. Then you got the Knight of Wands in reverse. It says passion, project, anger, scattered energy, delays, frustration, reckless, impatient, conflict, and stress. This feels like somebody's shadow side. The wrong side of your shadow that you might be in. Impatient, conflict. It's a lot of, this conflict in Five of Wands is a lot of energy that I feel like you know, it says scatter energy, and I really feel like that. I feel like maybe somebody in this energy, maybe you need to be honest about how certain burdens weigh down on you. Around your house, at your job, in your relationship. Maybe you need to be honest and discern the fact that you trying to carry it all could be making you weak in all areas. It's like, I feel like conflict is following somebody, and you're not a bad person, but you're living in a lower vibration of being overburdened. And it causes conflict because you emit, it's like, all right, pen this. Let's say I walk around, I have a suit on, and I look clean, and I'm very handsome, and I have a suit on, right? But in my alone time, I'm in constant turmoil, conflict, disarray, confusion. Even when I put that suit on in my life, I'm going to emit that, right? So it may not look like it's happening to me because I got a suit, but if you look around my life, it'll be chaos, confusion, and conflict around me. Why? Because I'm emitting that. And I think that somebody's in this energy. Like, it may not necessarily even feel like it's happening to you, because maybe you like the guy in the suit. You look well, but around you is becoming a reflection of what's going on somewhere maybe inside of you, or vice versa. It's something going on outside of you that's trying to become something that's going on inside of you. I feel that too. Like, I don't know. Realization, yeah. Maybe somebody need to realize that's what's going on. You could be trying to take on too much. I'm hearing like, really truly bit off more than you could probably chew, and it could be coming overburdensome.
It's like when you overextend yourself and then you become frustrated with the situation. You know what I'm saying? You ever been in that kind of situation?
Yes.
You overextend yourself and then you become so frustrated you can actually explode. You know what I'm saying? Because like once you get to that point where you feel overworked or overstimulated, or you feel like taken advantage of or whatever, you just snap, you know, because that's the kind of energy that I'm picking up.
Yeah.
Okay, but I got some good stuff over here. Okay, so we got 666. Okay, creativity, growth, creativity, joy, community, vision, and talent. So I love this. You know, it's giving me like sacral energy, you know, creativity, right? So I feel like right now is a time to be creative, and I'm talking about above the creativity you can even imagine. Like, you know, there's someone, and you know, Spirit is saying, you know, tap into that part of your mind you haven't been in a very long time.
Light
you know,
side of your shadow.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, tap into that part. You know, the left side of your brain, right? The right side of your brain. Okay, because I think that's the side we don't really use much, right? Okay, but anyway, we got seeing the angel number 666 is a sign that it's time to focus inward. Okay, work on your skills, discover your talents, and use your imagination. Okay, remember I always say, if you can't envision yourself somewhere, how can you get to a place that you can't see yourself? So, you know, I feel like God is saying right now that's very important, to be able to see yourself where you want to be. If you can't trust that God is going to allow you to be where you can see yourself, then how can you get there, right? But if you can envision yourself a place, then you can make it there, right? If you're one of those people that are like, I don't think I can do that, I can that, well, you probably won't. Like, I'm here to tell you, if you believe you won't, you probably won't do it. Now, on the other hand, if you are a person that truly believes that you can make it where you want to be, then you know, the law of the universe says that, you know, 9 times out of 10, you know, that's where you will land, right? So something about that here. Unleash your inner artist. So I don't know, you could be a creative artist, okay? Right? Doing so will boost your self-esteem and sense of competence, okay? It does wonders for your sense of purpose and contributes to your community. So pretty much this is kind of like allowing your gift to be used, right? Because there's someone and you have some kind of creative talent. You could be an artist, you could sing. I'm hearing someone has a voice. I just heard someone's voice in my head. You could be a man that I'm talking to, okay, in the energy. You could be a man with nice vocals or something like that, or you could be like a woman with maybe a raspy kind of voice or something like that. I don't know, something like that is what I just heard. And you could be or something like that, or you could be like a woman with maybe a raspy kind of voice or something like that. I don't know, something like that is what I just heard. And you could be some kind of artist, okay? But it says it does wonders for your sense of purpose and contributes to your community. So that means when you use your gift, it helps other people. So if you're a singer and you sing a song, it might heal somebody's spirit, right? If you're an artist and you draw a picture, it might heal someone, right? You could be a poet, right? And maybe your poetry is very soothing to someone's soul. Whatever it is, it's saying that, you know, it's time to be creative and use your creativity to help the world, because, you know, that's what you're here for, okay? Whoever I'm talking to, you are here to help heal humanity. It's a part of the plan, a part of your purpose. So if you've been wondering, like, what is my purpose? I just helped you out, right? So a part of your purpose is to help heal humanity. Now, what is the thing that you do easily that puts a smile on your face, and if you didn't get money to do it, that's your purpose, right? So put that together with helping people, and I just helped you figure out your purpose. You're welcome, right? Because somebody was wondering that, and I'm so glad that, you know, God gave it to me just like that. You know, it's just that simple. That is your purpose, to help humanity, right? And whatever gift that God gave you, you are supposed to be giving it away. Now, I know you've given so much of yourself away before that sometimes you don't like to give it away, but guess what? God is saying you still have to give yourself away, because there's so many people that need you and what God put in you. So small steps is here, okay? It says the small wins, the small triumphs, the everyday victories, celebrate them. They will take you there, okay? So creativity, right? There's something about you growing. Your creativity is growing. You know, your mind is growing. Your appetite for success is growing. Your appetite to help humanity is growing, right? You know, your appetite for love, different things, you're growing as a whole. So the flow of prosperity is here. So what does that mean? That means when you do the work, the blessings flow in, okay? The flow of prosperity is here. So it's like, you know, being creative, being who you are, which you do naturally, it brings in small wins that bring in the flow of prosperity, right? That means that slow and steady wins the race, right? That's what it means. That means that, you know, this is something, I'm hearing longevity, you know, it's not a temporary fix. You know, it's not instant gratification. It's something that you really have to work towards, and that's what you're doing here, right? Putting some kind of plan together, some kind of vision. Use your talents. God has given you guys talents to use. See, the gift will make a way for you, okay? If you use the gift, because we all have them, right? Now, you can tap into it or maybe not. But if you have a gift and you use the gift will make a way for you, okay? So celebrate your small steps. You could be overlooking, right, things that God is really doing in your life, and it's like somebody needs to take maybe a moment to praise, like throw your hands in the air. Thank you, Lord. I'm so happy. I'm so grateful. You know, Lord, I'm sorry I haven't even realized how much you truly been blessing me, because I'm looking for money, I'm looking for cars, I'm looking for jewelry, I'm looking for this and that, and I don't see how you're keeping everything together, you know? And I'm sorry that I haven't really been giving you enough gratitude, because that's what I'm saying. Someone's like, you know, Thank you, sis. Thank you, bro. I didn't even realize I wasn't showing enough gratitude for the simple things. Like, you know, being able to take my kids to sports practice with a vehicle, right? You know, I don't think about the small things. We feel like we're supposed to have things. And then when things come crashing down, it's like, whoo, a fall from grace. So I see someone and, you know, you're actually paying attention, right, to the things that God is doing. And, you know, these small steps, God is saying, that's right, celebrate them. You know, celebrate your victories, your wins. If you don't celebrate them, who's going to celebrate them? Nobody. They'll be swept under the rug. Okay? It's time to celebrate yourself. The flow of prosperity is literally here.
Okay. So over here, I got the Queen of Wands being clarified by compassion. And I'm liking this Queen of Wands. The footnote says courage, confident, independent, focus, a zest for life, a determination, and joy, right? Real fiery Queen of Wands energy. 15 could be significant. You're finding yourself to be aware and confident as you're discovering your life's purpose, right? And she was just now speaking about life purpose. And somebody was like, you know, well, how was my purpose to save humanity and not become a better version of me, right? Let me explain something about that. That was a great question. Becoming a version of you is helping humanity. Becoming a better version of yourself all alone, that is a duty to humanity all in itself. You know why? Because it's that magic that we work on ourselves that shapes our environment around us. And that's how you make change. You want to know how to affect change, emanate change, right? Truly begin to work on you, right? If you truly begin to work on you, like I see you doing, Queen of Wands to the compassion, it forces something out of you that changes your environment. For one thing, negative and baneful spirits and energies, they don't want to hang around you. Not when you're doing work on yourself. It's not a comfortable environment for them. Because why? The Most High, the God energy is too much. When you're doing those kind of things, you're pushing negativity away, right? This is why evil want us to be in spiritual psychosis. Where we worry, I got to get some sage to defend myself, and I got to have on this necklace to defend myself and defend. No, and truth be told, if you walking in your purpose, there's protection. Page of Swords to the synergy. Libra energy, I'm feeling like somebody in masculine curiosity. And it doesn't mean you have to be a man. Masculine curiosity is just a powerful desire, a youthful and powerful desire to know a thing, right? Women and men do it often. You know, you ponder and you're in Page of Swords energy where you're in a real youthful place and you want to venture out and do something and you just want to do it real bad, right? And is it like it says, new ideas, curiosity, alert, thirst for knowledge, restless, spying, news, negotiations, information, messages, and contracts. So somebody, like I say, I feel like Queen of Wands to this Page of Swords, it's an ambitious energy. I feel like a person in this energy where you're in this, you know, you could be a woman and you got this masculine curiosity, right? I would just say, don't let it get the best of you, right? Sometimes it's best to take a sip before you drink the whole thing, right? Like, I'm hearing that Drake song just jump in my mind to say, drink it all even if it tastes too strong, right? But seriously, sometimes it's best to just, you know, pace yourself. Two of Cups to the Mother Gaia. So I feel like divinity is showing a love and affinity for somebody with the Two of Cups. You can also be in a relationship that God is blessing. It says unified love, partnership, mutual attraction, proposal, marriage, and connection. So somebody could have just gotten married. We did.
Baby, let's get
could
married.
Be us. I don't know. But so unified Two of Cups. So I feel like you situated. This could be you. Queen of Wands, Sagittarius, you know.
Could be me. Okay. I'm definitely showing up in the energy, okay, with the compassion here. Okay.
Working on, that's an area you've been working on.
Yeah, you know, working on being a little bit more compassionate each
I
and
feel
every
like
day.
divine feminine all over been working, and that's what been making a way for divine masculine.
You know what's so funny?
The compassion of divine feminine, it created a comfortable place, you know, I believe, where divine masculine could evolve.
You know what's funny? I got one card in here that's the wrong. It doesn't belong in this deck. Divine feminine.
Wow. Not just for saying that.
Yeah, it doesn't belong in this deck.
You heard me.
Okay.
Thank you, Spirit.
So, we got the 808 coming out here. I don't know. This could
Somebody
be your
make
area
beats.
code.
Somebody like to make
Right?
beats.
The 808.
808 beat maker.
Hey, right? So something about that here. And I love this card. It's ancestry energy. You could be, you know, you could be like an old soul, very ancient kind of energy.
A loop.
Okay? I feel like, yeah, you're very
Past
ancient.
life.
Okay? You could be a person like, you could be a person that you just don't follow trends and different things like that. You know, you're very ancient. You know, it's like your soul has been here before or something like that.
A couple times.
Okay, but it says balance. Okay, power struggle, force, violence, hope, ancestors, low vibrations, and warnings. So we already know what kind of energy the 808 kind of energy, right? We know what that is. That's
that
like,
beat. Yeah, that
you
low
know,
beat.
that's like a low vibration, right? So it says pay close attention to the people in your life, your surroundings, and your physical health. Don't freak out. It's just a warning to be careful and awake to avoid any further issues. Communicate clearly and keep healthy boundaries. I don't know, Spirit just told me to make sure that, like, if someone's constantly trying to like serve you something, I don't know, I feel like it's something that you shouldn't take. You're probably already rejecting it. I'm feeling someone you're already rejecting, like someone's always trying to serve you something. There could be someone putting something in something. You know how people are weird. You know, and it may not necessarily be anything poisonous, but people just dirty. They just do nasty things, gross things, disgusting things. So
cups to the heart chakra.
Okay, yeah, like, you know, ratchet, nasty.
That's what's out here too.
Okay.
Right, what you saying is right.
Dust
there.
bunny kind of energy, right? Like that kind of energy. So pay close attention. Like if you're going out to places, make sure you're not laying your drinks around. Make sure you're not, you know, you're not just out here trusting anybody, because you know there are some people walking around here that are not human beings. They are soulless beings walking around on this earth in a shell, okay, in human flesh, right? Not necessarily a human person. So just be careful out here, right? No, there's never anything to be scared of, right? We are divinely protected, guided, and covered, and it's already written out, right? However, we are supposed to use discernment, good judgment, right? And that's what I'm seeing here for us, right? Just a warning to just pay attention. That's all, you know. It's like shame. You get me once, shame on you. You get me twice, shame on me, right? So something about that, like, you know, stay ready so you don't have to get ready, you know, something about that. And then we got going forward. So I don't know. I feel like, you know, your ancestors, you could even have like some low vibrational ancestors in your energy. That's why it's very important to discern the different voices that you hear, right? All of those voices that you're hearing are not they're not all high vibrational. Okay. You know, some of those voices that we hear are low vibrational, right? They want us to feel anxious, depressed, we're not good enough. It wants us to feel like all these different energies. When you hear voices like that speaking to you, it's low vibrational, because remember, God does not speak like that.
They
like,
your people.
You know what I'm saying? I've never heard God talk to me crazy like that.
They somebody people.
Right? These are low vibrational ancestors that, you know, they just mad in life. You know, they were mad in life, and they could be still mad in the afterlife. And that's just how it is. You know, it's like I see power struggle, you know, so you could be hearing different things, right? Because I mean, someone's hearing different things. Like you're trying to figure out when God is speaking to you and you're trying to figure out when it's just your own mind. And I'm giving you the keys to know the difference, you know. When you're hearing these low vibrational things, when you're starting to feel like, you know, you're not good enough, like, you know, the way you look is this, and like that is low vibrational. Okay, God made you perfectly exactly how you should be, so you should be having high vibrational thoughts. But it says going forward, don't dwell on the past, but focus on creating a brighter future. Okay, so it's very important for you to focus on the future and not the past, right? And you know, I always like to think about Lot's wife. Like, you know, when God is telling you move forward, don't be like Lot's wife and look backwards, right? Because we all know what happened. She became a pillar of salt, right? Not having faith when God told her to keep your head this way, right? So, you know, something about that. And then we have teacher. So, I don't know. I feel like, you know, it's time for someone to either listen to the teacher, be the teacher, whatever it is. It's something like, you know, something like that. I feel like you could also be learning, you know, a lot about your ancestry, okay? Right? You could be learning how to balance out, you know, the different energies, because I'm saying power struggle, you know? You could be learning how to balance out your darkness and your light, because we all have it, right? Now, whether you want to admit it or not, that's up to you, right? But, you know, a person that can admit that they have a darkness and a lightness and try to balance it out, that's a beautiful thing, right? Because the darkness is going to be there, right? So, something about that, okay? There could be someone, you could be taking some new classes or something like that. You could be an instructor, okay? Or you could be, you know, being led to go to someone for instructions at this time. Right? You know what's resonating with you. But there's someone, and it's time for a teacher, a mentor, okay? Something like that. Going forward, you know, sometimes you have to put yourself in places to get, you know, forward, right? Set yourself up for the life that you want, right? Whether it's therapy, because I'm hearing someone, it could be therapy, whether it could be life coaching, whatever it is, there's something and there's someone ready to move forward in a situation, okay? Someone needs to listen to the teacher here.
Okay, and I have to go back to where she started because she was like, somebody is doing something, yeah, and it's not looking to, yeah, shit. And it is, right? It's crazy because it's 3 of Cups to the heart chakra. So, and this is for our collective, beware of people who plot on your heart chakra energy, because that right there, right, is it's a way that people do things. And let's lean away from magic. All right, let's just say, well, how does a person affect your heart chakra without thinking magic, right? Because everybody in psychosis and thinking everybody over the stove. Sometimes people do magic and it's not necessary. It's blood magic, right? It's bloodline magic, meaning it's not that they looking and doing spells. It's just that they have magic on them. So when they do shit, it be magic, right? Now, when people got 3 of Cups to your heart chakra, that is effectively like third party kind of energy. Doesn't have to be in a relationship. It can just be like, you know, it can be like I have a good friend and they play the 50 with me. That's kind of 3 of Cups to the heart chakra. They say things about me when I'm not present, and and when I hear about it, what is it gonna do? It's gonna hurt my heart. So just beware of people that do that to you, right? Like, you don't have to allow people to get that close to you, to where as though that 3 of Cups to the heart chakra is even effective. Because it's a powerful tool. Like when people play the 50 with us, whether they be in a relationship with us, a friendship, or any of the above, right? It hurts you when you find that out. But God is creating us to be formidable against that. So when it happened, it's like, all right, I have enough presence of mind to not extend that much of myself. So when it happened, it's not effective. It's called being aware, right? Ascension comes with emotional intelligence, y'all. It has to be a part of your ascension. It's not to be hard on nobody that's going through it. Because somebody like, man, you don't know what I'm going through. Like, I'm writing I understand, but it's still if you in a place where you being deceived or somebody running game on you and you feel like you stuck, you can't get out of it. If you truly reaching for ascension, you'll get beyond that point. You won't be at that place for long. But when you get away from that place, you got to develop intelligence. Because if you don't, you're going to end up right back in that same three of cups to the reverse kind of. Because some people, your energy is too dynamic. It causes people to literally go plot on you. Mm-hmm. Some people be like, they think they know it all. Mm-hmm. They think they know everything. Mm-hmm. It's the power that's on you. So you got to learn how to deal with the negative three of cups. Mm-hmm. Like everything that people say behind your back can affect you. Be like me. Laugh and learn and expect it. I feel it. I pick it up. It's like the more you grow, the more spirit show. Mm-hmm. The more you grow, the more you know how you be in a place, where you like, man, I don't know what's going on in my life. People just behind my back doing any old thing. The vibration is so low, you continue to be dumbfounded. But the minute that you tap into something stronger, God begin to show you everything that's going on around you. Mm-hmm. Then you become less responsive to it and more knowing of it. Mm-hmm. Right? And then what people do, they realize, they be like, man, I'm not going to F with that no more. Mm-hmm. Right? So it's about gaining strength. 4 swords to the cosmic flower. So rest. Rest and relaxation, meditation, contemplation, recovery, recuperation, retreat, renewal. There's a lot of re's right here. Solitude and planning for the future. Cosmic flower. So I guess think about the process of a flower. Again, the card comes out again. You know, it breaks ground, comes upward, it begins to open, it begins to blossom, and it goes through its process. Mm-hmm. But the flower needs to rest. Did you know that? Flowers sleep every night, just like we do. If you get up early in the morning, you can see them in their bud like this, especially dandelions. Like they be rolled up in a green bud. Then as the day progresses, they pop out, right? So I feel like somebody, maybe you need to balance, you need to factor restoration in your regimen. Maybe you going. It said earlier, 10 of Wands in reverse, overburden, overstress, overwork, right? 22 could be significant. 18 and 4, 18 too. And somebody could have a 4-year-old. Grandbaby, I heard. Last but not least, you got the Magician to the Miracle. Number 33 could be significant. Action, creation, manifestation, power, self-confidence, clarity, willpower, skill, creativity, miracles following you.
I just heard Touched by an Angel. You remember that show?
Right, yeah, that's basically what this is telling me. You got a lot of miracles that surround your life and this energy right here. Y'all, there's a few of y'all. It's collective energy. It's, you know, one thing about the magician, he got to be active though. In order for things to come to fruition, you got to have action. You can't have all this potential. You don't want to be like Summer Walker song. You got potential, oh, potential. No, we want to exercise the potential out. You want to see what is the potential made? What can my potential lead me to, right? Be the magician. You want to hear you the magician? All right, you the magician. But you got to be the magician. Like, if you look at your life and miracles follow you, this card is for you. Mm-hmm. Period. It says miracle. And miracles follow the magician. It's that special kind of energy. It's that energy that God put on you. I know that they say tarot is demonic, but it's not, right? It's a matter of perception. Because I think somebody, you may be even demonizing the powers that God gave you. You don't allow people that convince you that you a demon seed, right? Where is that going to lead you? Why am I asking you that? Because God is giving you dreams. God is giving you visions. God is giving you intuition. God is giving you knowing. Does any of it feel devilish? No. Why? Because you're a good person. You don't do half the devilish stuff that people who demonizing your gift do. I'm going to say it again. Thank you, Spirit. You don't do half of the devilish stuff that people who demonizing your gift do. So why would you accept that and not move forward into a peaceful place with your gift? You know, says the magician to the miracle. Gordon could be significant. Travis, Nehemiah, Lori, Cassandra.
I was going to say Cassidy.
What? Cassidy,
I heard Cassidy.
And I was hearing Cassandra.
Wow.
It's crazy. Wow. Lyle. Lyle could be significant. Lyle, that's an awkward name. I never heard Lyle in my intuition. I don't even know what's going on in my intuition, y'all. I'm hearing Three's Company. Take a knock on the door.
I seen 3 birds.
You did?
Earlier they were flying 3 together.
Third party, Three's Company.
Third wheel shit.
There's some third wheel shit going on somewhere. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's something. Three's a company, right?
Somebody could be like poly or something.
You could have a polygamous nature. Somebody, you could actually be starting a business. It could be 3 of y'all, right? Okay. Illegal or legal, right?
Okay. I got 0550, and it says friendship. Okay. Right. So it says success, knowledge, friendship, impatience, freedom, and optimism. When chances present themselves, seize them and do not, when chances present themselves, seize them and do something out of the ordinary. Whether in your professional or personal life, you will find success by welcoming creative impulses and having faith in your own abilities. Trust in chance and take risks on opportunities that could change your life for the better. Okay? So 5500, 5500 could be significant. You could live in the 5500 block. Okay? Something like that. Okay? But friendship, okay? I feel like there's a lot of successful friendships being built right now. Okay? With trusting people that you can trust. Like loyal people. You know, there are a lot of solid people out here. You know, there's some solid people out here. I've met quite a few. And then you have some that portray to be solid who just, you know, you have to give them grace because, you know, they try, but they couldn't be solid if they were a rock, right? Something about that. And then we got web of connections. So it's crazy. Remember he was saying 3, like a third wheel or something, web of connections. I don't know. I feel like there's something about some kind of connection. I don't know. But it says, weave your connections thoughtfully, creating a supportive web that uplifts your personal and professional journeys. I don't know. There's something about, I feel like there could be a connection. I don't know if you're making friends at work or something like that, or if you're getting more connections, but something about nurture yourself here as well. Okay? God could be sitting you at tables with people that are more knowledgeable, okay? Right? You could be praying for freedom, and freedom is already here for you. Something about that. You know how, like, you're like, I need freedom, but, you know, I feel like someone has already prayed for this, and freedom has already been given. Look, there's a plane, there's a plane in the sky.
And a dragonfly.
Right? A plane and a dragonfly for confirmation. Okay? There's someone you just want to be free. I just want to be free, Lord. Hey.
2 dragonflies.
Hey. or something is about to come out. Something is about to be revealed. I don't know. You know, it's crazy. I'm just picking up the energy. I'm just picking up the energy. Picking up the energy. Yeah, I don't know. There's something free in here, okay? You need to really nurture yourself. Okay, I don't know. It's like something. It's like God's gonna connect you with the right web of people, and this connection could really, like, free you in a way. Okay, be optimistic. You could be being very impatient, but God is giving you exactly what you need right now. The right people, the right connections. Everything is happening in divine timing. You are in alignment according to where you should be. Okay, if you keep thinking about where you could have been, okay, or where you need to be, you're gonna cease to miss the current opportunity.
Live in the now.
Right.
Live in the here and the now.
There it is.
Right, because I'm noticing, like, with the collective, I see so many people going hard, right, and I'm empathetic. Like, I don't look at people and judge them. I just be like, I'm so happy that when I crack open my social media, it's not like it was 5 years ago where people was promoting a lot of negativity, right? Right now, I see people out in the woods. I see people, some people, they be misappropriating their gifts, but they be using them anyway, right? And they be doing different, and I can really dig that, right? And I want you to know, if you're a person that may feel like giving up or feel like you done something wrong or something, just realize it's called the process. And don't ever let evil trick you out of what's coming to you. If you put in work and you help one human, right, it comes with a karma, right? A debt that's owed to you. Think about that. Because, so sometimes we think about what we do to establish karmic debt in the world, in the universe. But do you ever realize that when you do good out here in the world, you establish a debt that's owed to you?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you help somebody spiritually, they ancestors, they owe you. And guess what? They gonna pay up. They pay up. They move things around. Like, it's real true, you become real popular in the ancestral realm when you begin to use your gift to help people. People in the spirit realm, they know. Mm-hmm. People that pretend to act like they don't know, right? But so don't question your worker, right? Somebody, you're a worker. Knight of Pentacles to the crown chakra energy, right? And this is a person of fundamental principle. And I like this energy for somebody. Like somebody, damn well your power don't lie in no magic spell. It lies in your prayer. That's your true power. Your connectivity through prayer, not spells. Crown chakra to the Knight of Pentacles. A fundamental spiritualist, right? I like this for you. You move at a slow pace. Why? Because you're aware. And number 7, I'm feeling Michael. Ogun, our energy, this angel. Number 7, 7th angel. Crown chakra energy, right? And then we got belief to the 6 of Wands. Very much ancestral favor in this right here. When I see belief to the 6 of Wands, somebody believe in you, divine seed. And I don't feel like all of the people that behind this belief in you, a lot of them not even here right now. Mm-hmm. They in the yamas. They transitioned already. Because you could be listening to me like, man, this man talking crazy. I got a bunch of doubters around me. Trust me, your number bigger. Spiritually, you got 6 of Wands to the belief. That's being held in high honors. Somebody doing the work. And I feel it. You realize, much like myself, it ain't got nothing to do with the stuff that I do that people can see. It's all about what I do and how I really believe when it's just me. When it's just me, myself, and I, right?
Me,
How am I
myself,
dealing with my
and I.
shadow? Am I somebody, you done been past the place where we look in the mirror and we be like this, man, I ain't shit for real, right? Because if you ain't get to that place yet, right, you got some growing to do.
Yeah.
I don't care who you is. If you ain't got to the place where you looked in that mirror of life and been like, man,
I thought I
ain't,
was this.
I ain't right, man. I ain't right at all. Because if you don't look like that, if you don't look at yourself like that, you never gonna invoke the change that creates 6 of Wands to the belief in you. This somebody who already been through that, so you gotta trust in your process.
Okay.
And then last but not least, you got a lot of angels around you. Lovers to the universal love. That's crazy. Double love, right? Somebody is about, can you believe that for your own self? Yeah, dirty old you, right? Dirty old us, right? Got all this love that's around you. Yeah, because look at the decisions that you deciding to make. A lot of us, we made decisions out of being taught wrong and trained wrong. That's why the Most High wipe away that shit. When you begin to make the right decisions, all the things that people try to stick to you, all the rumors, all of the things, all that falls away from
I'm
you.
here. I got the keys.
I got the key.
Right?
Key,
You could be getting
key.
new keys to
Key,
something.
key.
You could have just moved to a new place. Could have gotten a new vehicle. Or you could just be unlocking the keys to parts of you that have been locked for so long, is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing someone, yeah, that's what it is. Like someone's opening up parts of themselves that has been closed off for years. And you
shadow.
feel, it's like it feels so good to be back.
You back from
what
another,
I heard,
you back,
right?
somebody, you back from a past life,
Okay, like I love that for you, okay? And it's crazy because I have 606 and it says and optimism, okay? So I feel like at one time, us as a collective, we were very pessimistic about things in life because, when you're told you're weird, when you feel like you just never really fit anywhere, you become pessimistic. But it says and optimism is here. Okay, so we got love. So the heart chakra, of course, is coming up for you, the Anahata, right? Peace, hope, optimism, transferring responsibility to others. So that's kind of like delegating, okay? So you could be needing to delegate is what I'm hearing. Delegating is very important. And I've been a supervisor, manager my entire life. And also just in, my own home, I had to learn too, delegating tasks, right? See, a lot of times we become burned out from things because we don't know how to delegate tasks, right? It's kind of like the energy of you won't allow your children to clean the bathroom because they don't clean as good as you. Well, you need to get in there and help them learn how to clean as good as you, right? That's delegating so that you're able to delegate the tasks or something like that.
And also, even on a deeper note, when you a person, to delegate well is to allow yourself to be delegated as well. Like to be a team player. Like, because some of us, that's what the Ten of Wands in reverse is about. It's about somebody you overworking yourself because maybe you won't let certain people that's connected to you lead. You won't let them tell you, well, look, this is the best way for you to flow. And sometimes it's like, I'm hearing the word out the mouth of babes, right? And that's energy from the Bible. So maybe somebody listen to your children more.
Okay. So we got love, peace, hope, and optimism, transferring responsibility to others, progress, and creativity. Okay. This creativity energy is very powerful too, because I don't know what it is that you do, but you're very gifted. Okay. I'm seeing a lot of crafty things. Okay. I'm seeing someone, you could be, what do you call it? A lyricist. Okay. I keep hearing a very nice voice in my head. Okay. And then it says pursue your goals and get what you want. Okay. It will provide wonderful benefits for you and the people you hold dear. Your ability to communicate is improving at this time, which will make it easier for you to interact with a broad spectrum of individuals. I told you, God is sending you people that that you can communicate with. You know, you could be a person and you could be feeling like, you know, I don't talk good enough to be here. You know, I don't have the right vocabulary. I'm not smart enough. I'm not this. You know, and God says, I will give you what you need to be in the position that you need to be in, right? It's kind of like how God comes to our aid when we need to remember, right? When we need remembrance. It's the same kind of energy. You know, I feel like God is like, don't worry about it. I'm sending you people that will help you, right? So maybe you can be not so strong in your vocabulary, your communication. And right, God is sending people in to help you with this, right? People that won't judge you because you mispronounce a word, right? Or whatever it is. You ever meet people like that? They want to correct every word that you say incorrectly. And you know, that's kind. But, you know, some people do it to insult other people. When, you know, I don't really approve of that, right? You know, when people do things as an insult.
Sometimes, thank you, Spirit. Spirit wants me to say this. Sometimes the people that God sends to us that we need, right? They actually show up to us needing something from us, right? Mm-hmm. And Spirit wants me to say, don't be dismayed when that's the case, right? Learn how to see beyond what's going on in a 3D. Because you know how we get down on ourselves.
Next card.
Sometimes, like, we get down when we meet with, like, you know what I'm saying? We get down, we don't think much of ourselves. So we meet somebody, and they need something from us, and we be like, how you gonna need something from me? And I don't have anything to give, right? But sometimes what you gotta give is something that you don't even recognize. It's a component of you that you don't recognize, but God do.
Remember I said the key to your unlocking parts of yourself that you know, that have been locked up for so long. You know, and I believe that too, because it says, guess what? The veil of illusion. Okay? And it says, lift the veils of illusion, seeking truth beneath the surface to navigate through love and career authentically. Okay, you could be needing to meditate as well here. We got meditation showing up for you, but I feel like, you know, you've lifted the veil, okay, because you chose to see. You know, how many times have, you know, God really revealed something to you, but you chose not to see it, right? But I feel like now you chose to see whatever it is that God is revealing to you, and you have become very optimistic. I love this. There's something about your responsibility for others. I told you, like, your gift is to take care of humanity. And someone's like, I don't want to do this. Like, who said that I had to be responsible for people? You know, it's kind of like Moses. Remember how Moses came to God and Moses was like, God, why did you put me as a leader for these people? They don't listen. All they do is complain. They don't want to do right. You know, it was the same kind of energy. And, you know, you could be feeling the same way. Like, you know, same kind of energy. To whom much is given, much is required. When God gives you the vision, you know, when the veil is removed and you can see your duty is different. You have, you know, more responsibility. Okay? So, yeah, something about that. You could be needing to really meditate, making sure that, you know, you're practicing mindfulness, right? Especially if you're doing any kind of spiritual work, you know, I would really pray that you are, you know, practicing what you preach, because I can tell you, you know, it's a hard thing to do, you know, and we practice it. You know, it really takes a different kind of strength to do this work and to, you know, behind the scenes to still be the same people, you know. So just continue to do you, because that's what I'm hearing. A lot of you guys, you know, people are angry with you because, you know, behind the scenes you're still showing up as the same person, right? You know, people are doing things on the surface. And, you know, now that the veil has been removed, you know, people want more than just the surface. So people can see the bullshit in things. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, when people look at you, it's like, I see the truth. Hey, I know it's real. I see the truth. I know it's real, right? That's what I'm hearing. It's like, you know, looking at you, you know, it reveals what truth is, you know? You're being exactly who you said you would be. You're being exactly who you came to be. And, you know, it's showing up even behind the scenes. So, you know, they said that's how you judge a man by his character, the things that he does when nobody can see, right? You know, it's all cute and dandy to get online and take pictures of you feeding the homeless, right? But what are you doing behind closed doors that nobody can see but you and the Most High, right? Those are the kind of things that really matter, right? Not when you got to get on Facebook and take pictures of everybody that you're serving outside with the bag lunch and getting them to smile. Like, you know, when I was homeless, I don't think I wanted to take pictures with a bag lunch. Right? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, you know, you know, somebody might cancel me for this, but that's cool. You know what I'm saying? I just remember sleeping in my car for 5 months and nobody offered me a meal, but if they did, I don't think I would want to take a picture. You know, at a time where I was going through my worst, you know, but, you know, we become so insensitive as humans, and, you know, we become attention seeking, so we do everything for the camera nowadays. But, you know, I get it. Let's see. I'm just being me. Hey, not what they want me to be. Hey, I'm just being me. Hey, can't be what they want me to be. Hey, I'm just being me. We got 23 showing up. This could be your Jordan year. You could be turning 23 years old, okay? Or you could be 46 in the energy. We got judgment showing up, and it says karma, warning, judgment, influence, power, cycles, changes, and rebirth. Hey, 23. 23. I remember when I was 23. Okay, I was still so very naive at 23 years old.
Man, but thought,
right?
you know.
But thought I knew everything in the world. I thought I had all the answers, but I was so naive, right? But it says karma. Oh, wow. It's crazy. We got a message from a very powerful person. And, you know, she spoke about judgment, right? And things being, you know, I feel like it's crazy because, you know, judgment has already been called. That happened a while ago. So, you know, things are showing up in the 3D. You're starting to be,
justice.
You know, justice. You're being able to see that, you know, all of the people who started these things, you know, they're having to be held accountable for the things they start, because, you know, the art of war says the person that starts the war, they typically lose. So there's a lot of wars that have been started spiritually, physically, around the globe with people like you and me, right? And what's happening is, you know, justice is here because judgment already fell upon us, right? And so it says karma. We'll be paying you a visit. Release the need to control because you cannot force things. Learn your lessons so they don't repeat in the future. Make some space for new experiences. Now, you know, when we hear karma, some people, you know, I feel like people who hear karma and they get scared, that means
they're doing something.
They're doing something.
If
you hear karma and it automatically makes you feel nervous, then you need to evaluate what you're doing in life. Now, when you hear karma, you should feel good, because I know that the things that I have been putting out have been good things, so I expect good things back tenfold, right? That's the law of the universe. See, I know that the things that I have been putting out have been high vibrational, so when those things come back, I'm expecting high vibrational things, because guess what? We get what we put out, right? So it's something about that here. Okay, there's a rebirth for you. You know, I remember, it's crazy. Now, I don't know if someone just changed their name. You could be like Muslim, okay? Or you could have just changed your name recently. You could have gotten married, or maybe you just went through a rebirth. You know, I remember in the Bible, you know, when God would make certain covenants with certain disciples, they would change their name, you know, once they took a covenant with God, because they became a new person.
That's real.
So I feel like this is you. You could be taking on a new name because you're becoming a new person. This could be a legal name change, or this could be just, you know, people putting some respect on your name, right? Because of the things that you're doing, you're earning respect. See, as above, so below. The prayers that you put up, the work that you put in for God, it comes trickling down, okay? As above, so below is the energy. So I really love this for you, you know? Now, it's crazy because when we're in the energy of karma, like I said, the ones that do bad things, you can feel their energy. They're scared. When they hear karma, they want to run, you know, they want to hide. So you could be feeling this energy. It's projection, you know. It's not your own energy. Why should you have to feel scared when you're out here putting out goodness, doing the work, you know? You're doing things high vibrational. You're motivating other people. You're eating right? You're picking up trash off the ground. You know, you're doing the work. You're meditating. You're praying. You're reading the word. You know, you're protecting your spirit. Why should you have to feel nervous when you hear the word karma? You don't, right? But there's someone else, and they do, and you could be feeling their energy.
Yeah, I feel like I can support that. Like Kurt, when you hear the word karma, if it makes you nervous, you really should check where you stand. Because to a certain degree, everybody has to deal with karma, and karma is not always negative. Out here on the table, I'm loving this energy. It's this Ace of Swords to the Divine Masculine, right? And even for a woman in this Divine Masculine energy, all I'm saying is that you have stood up and begun to speak the truth. And it's not.
I ain't even got nothing.
I ain't got a lot of y'all. I'm gonna speak the truth, right? Rio could be significant. Flint. Or areas like Flint. Like, it's a real Flint vibe, right? But nevertheless,
Clarissa.
Divine Masculine. Age 22 could be significant. Ace of Swords to the Divine Masculine. This is a man of truth. And your Misk. Yeah, Dharma.
Dharma,
good
that's
energy.
right. Good karma.
Right.
That's right.
Ashley. Dharma.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, dharmic value, that's what begins to surround your life. When you start doing the work, thank you for that word, Ashley. That's what you establish. Dharma. Yeah. That's good things coming.
Yeah, positive karma.
Positive quality. Things that you put in the world, seeds you planted, you forgot, right? That's the thing about the energy of the Bible says we plant the seed, God gives the increase, right? So it's crazy how in life, as you ascend, you start doing a little work on yourself. You start speaking different. So when you go throughout the course of life, you start saying different things to people. You begin to plant different seeds, right? So what waters those seeds is you consistently living that way. God is able to pour. So next thing you know, you got things growing up. Dharmic value. You inherit good frequency, right? And I noticed to be so because you got Two of Swords to the throat chakra. That's the ability to speak. It's a lot of speaking in this energy. Divine Masculine to the Ace of Swords is a man of truth. Two of Swords to the throat chakra is somebody speaking the truth. Think about it. The word in the Bible, it says, the word of God is like a double-edged sword that separates soul asunder from spirit.
Come on now.
Two swords.
Come on.
Throat chakra. Somebody, you speaking the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth on a spiritual level. Because, see, it separates soul asunder from spirit. You know what that feels like? I'm going to tell you. You ever been in church and you ever felt like, man, is this preacher talking about me?
Directly.
Did somebody tell him my business? That's because your soul is being separated asunder from your spirit. That's what the word of God. They come from God's energy, words of truth. That's what they do. They separate you. When you hear them, they make you look at yourself. Because your soul and your spirit ain't entangled for that word come down. Your mother give it to you a lot of times. Your grandmother, they give you words of God. The Ace of Swords, throat chakra. Somebody is speaking that way. And that's good, right? And then
somebody definitely a singer.
You got Chariot to the third eye chakra. Somebody lit. We got crown chakra out here. Boom. We got throat chakra. Boom. And now we got third eye chakra. Boom. Right? You done freed yourself. And you got the Chariot to the third eye chakra. You know what I see coming in? That's a balance, first of all. Before we get to any of the good things that this Chariot bringing in, because it's a dharmic chariot. We talking about Dharma. We talking about the chariot. We talking about the third eye chakra, right? It's good things coming in. But the first thing that's coming in is the balance of light and darkness. So somebody you can live on a consistent frequency. You becoming steady about who you are.
And you ain't even got to fight no more.
You ain't even worried about it.
Damn long you be fighting all our battles.
They over there saying that you doing this, that, and the third, but meanwhile you're not doing any of that.
Okay.
You got the chariot coming in. This is what it says in the footnote. Movement, progress, action, integration, lightness and darkness coming together. Remember I said that? Determination, willpower, control, direction, departure, carriage, victory, a journey. So like I said, you got to know, if you can't believe that your work that you're doing is good work, and when you hear karma, it make you feel a certain type of way, realign yourself. Because I'm speaking to those of us, when we hear karma, we don't even worry about it. Whether it be good, bad, or ugly. When something bad come, I'll be like, well, it must be something from the past life, because I'm pretty much doing what I'm supposed to do now to straighten out my karma in this life.
That's real. But some of the karma that we have too, don't forget, the Bible says that we will also have the sins of our ancestors. Yeah,
it rains on the just and the unjust alike.
Okay. So, you know, some of the things you could be like, well, why am I going through this? And it's like, well, look, that's something that everybody in your bloodline has to go through. And so somebody breaks this damn curse, right?
And kudos to those of us that embrace karma as a growing aspect. It's like, because in order for me to get steady, I had to begin, because life began to throw me a lot of curveballs. And I had to look at it like, all right, all of this is coming because, of course, I've done some things wrong. I ain't do that much damn wrong, but I've done some wrong. So I said, all right, I've done some wrong. I need to be accountable for what's going on. And then I begin to realize karma comes to the righteous for us to advance. It's not for us to get, it's not to finish us off. It's for us to grow to the next level.
Because remember that in order to have a testimony, you have to go through tests.
Yeah.
Right? There's no testimony if you ain't got no test now, right?
How can you be effective?
Right.
Without a testimony.
That's real, right? And I know it's something about the throat chakra. So I don't know if you are a speaker or if, like, you know, you could be having some issues with your throat and being able to project. Maybe you, I mean, someone's been stuttering lately or something. Like, I'm seeing someone and you just been tripping over your words, maybe not being able to get them out properly. But we got 888 here for you, okay? Infinity, right? There's something about communication, charisma, communication, society, movement, journey, and repetitive circumstances, okay? So journey, you know, you guys are on the journey. You know, this is the journey, you know, and I love to tell people that the best part of the journey is not, you know, trying to get to the destination. The best part of the journey is the journey, exploring each and every part of the journey, right? So there's someone and you are just enjoying the journey. Now we got society. I told you, it's like, you know, God is really putting people together right now to get the mission done. You know, they say when two or more join, you know what that is, right? So something about that. This is a movement, okay? I feel like God is just tired, you know, of being represented incorrectly. You know, I feel like God is tired of people being rejected because they love him a certain way. I feel like, you know, God is tired of people being spoke about negatively when he highly favors them, you know. So something about that is here. But it says there's some truth you're resistant to accept, okay? So I don't know, it's like there's something here, that some kind of truth that you could be very resistant to, okay? So it says there's some truth that you're resistant to accept over and over again. Come on now. Until you're tired and restrained beyond depression, it takes a decision to live your life for yourself. Life is about passion. When you make a change and the world around you follows. So I don't know, there's something about some kind of truth here that, you you know, I feel like it's one of those harsh truths where God reveals something and it's like, damn, man, why this one? Why that? You know, like that kind of energy. You know, you ever had somebody that does something and it's like, it's the principle. It's like, you know, not even the person. It's like the principle. Like it's a letdown because, you know, it's the principle behind things. Because I'm one of those people. It's like, you know, it's always the principle for me. It's not really the situation. It's the principle behind it, right? So I don't know, something about the principle behind it here. Okay? But Spirit is saying, God is saying right now, make the decision to live for you because you're worth living for. You know, there's some days that you did not feel like you were worth living, but today, Spirit says be glad and rejoice in this day, okay? And make a decision to live for yourself, you know? Imagine truly being here and living for yourself, not worried about, you know, everything that people have to say. People are gonna always have opinions about you. You know, I notice, look at the celebrities, right? You could be a celebrity because a lot of people want to obtain fame and money, right? But if you look at the celebrities, you know, and you go in some of the comments of their pictures, people tear them to pieces as well. You know, money won't stop that, right? So I don't know, there's somebody and, you know, they're like, money can fix everything, and I'm like, no, it can't. They like, shit, well, it can fit, you know, it can fix everything I need. But you know, I feel like there's someone, and even if God gave you all the money you wanted, you still wouldn't be pleased, which, you know, your spirit is just like wanting more in life, something like that. And it says just go with it, okay? Embrace spontaneity and trust the journey. Remember I said it's about the journey and not the destination, okay? Remaining open to unexpected twists and turns along the way. Yeah, exactly. You know, it's about making a change, and it says the world around you follows. You know, it's like, you know, the kind of energy where, you know, you don't have to be a follower. You know, my mom used to always tell me, you never be a follower, always be a leader. That was something she taught me from a little girl, right? Always be a leader, never be a follower, right? And I'm like, okay, right? And you could be embracing this as well here. Just go with it. It says take charge of the situation. Guess who popped up? Moses. Remember I was talking about Moses and the people and how he was like, no, I don't want to be a leader. But Spirit says take charge of the situation. Okay? I don't know. Something about infinity and beyond. Okay, there, I don't know, I feel like someone's trying to communicate. I feel like an ancestor kind of energy on the other side saying like infinity and beyond. I'm still here with you through infinity and beyond. Someone could have just lost a loved one. My condolences. Okay, it's kind of like a young energy, a fun energy, and this person is like, you know, infinity and beyond. I'm still here with you is what I'm hearing. Okay, infinity and beyond. Okay, this could have been a very playful kind of fun kind of spirit. Okay, I'm seeing someone that was very vibrant. Okay, someone I'm hearing that they were just taken too soon, right? But God needed them back here. Okay, someone knows what I'm talking about. Let my people go. That's what I just heard when I looked at Moses.
Somebody's pregnant. Right? You could be pregnant on many different levels, right? Somebody's actually pregnant physically. You might want to check. You might not know this. And then somebody, you know, you pregnant, and then somebody else, you got ideas, right? Very fertile energy. The energy of fertility is clinging to you. This Empress energy, the number 26 could be significant. 36 as well. Abundance, nurturing, fertility, feminine, good parenting, development, accomplishment, growth, evolution, action. Big Libra energy, right? Empowerment. So I feel like with this kind of energy, you shouldn't be questioning what your purpose is. Definitely, it's to share what you have with humanity. Our Empress with empowerment. Right? So Spirit says, don't be selfish. Like the gifts that we have, they are for others around us. Your gift, it will benefit. Sometimes I look at it when I first started doing this work. You know what I used to say? I was early in my development, right? When I first realized, okay, the Most High chose me to do something and empowered me with the gifts to do so, I said, okay, my carnal mind kicked in. I said, okay, I'm about to get money. I'm about to get paid now, right? I said, I'm going to have integrity. I ain't going to lie to people. And I'm going to be rich and famous, right? Why? Because my gift is real. And I know what I can. But then God says, sit down somewhere, my son. You know, and I had to realize, okay, God gives me abundance in different ways, right? But what he allowed me to do with the abundance that he was giving me, I began to be able to speak into other people's lives with what I saw, and it created abundance for them. And some of them, they had things that I wanted. Like I remember literally being homeless and doing readings for people that was sitting pretty. And I had no animosity, because to me it was valuable. I was like, wow, I'm really able, you know, to see a person contacting you, right? And God telling you, don't even say nothing about you being homeless. Just do the reading, right? I used to just be flowing through, and people would be like, wow, you actually hear names? Like you hear, wow, like you're describing my loved one. And I was able to pick up on them, you know, being a medium. And I realized God gave me a gift to benefit others. And through that, he gonna take care of me. Whatever lined up for me, and I'm fine with it. I don't need 1 million viewers or none of that. I don't need to make a living off of this or none of that. The only thing I need to do is be present in life, move in spiritual integrity, understand most importantly the path I chose and what it brings along with it.
Come on.
If you chose a spiritual path, your sustenance comes spiritually. Don't try to put it together. God gonna provide.
He always do.
You be diligent. You be active. If whatever God told you to do, do it. If that's the path you chose, God is gonna make things shake all around you. Your ancestors, why? Because they got the authority and they got authorization from the Most High to move in your life. When you start doing the work, pin your ancestors like this. We need to send so-and-so in for a different level of protection. That get authorized. Spiritual channels. Now you got more ancestors with you because you're doing the work. Right? And then you got Hangman to the coherence. Major Arcane Might. Hangman to the coherence. I believe that you came to a place where things begin to return to you mentally. And they not things necessarily from this life. I feel like your past life energy, right, it came to you with a coherence. Put you in a hangman energy where you was like, look, you know, it's not my purpose and duty to come here and stay like everybody else was in my family. It's not my duty to come here and continue on like the people that was before me. My duty is different, right? You made this decision, and now it's coherence. And they going to have to deal with it, fam, right? They going to have to deal with it because, listen, if God is calling you to do this, to make a change, to make a better way, to lift the curses off your family, to not walk around and succumb to, walk your walk, walk it out. Stay in your decision. It says pause, surrender, letting go, new perspective, enlightenment, acceptance, deeper insight, sacrifice, change, and release. Somebody, you a generational curse breaker. This a fact. Be who you is. Because the fact that you who you are gonna breed people that try to make you feel like you're not. You say, I'm a generational curse breaker. Guess what they say? No, you're not. You ain't nobody. Sit down. Be just like the others that came before you. So it's up to you whether you gonna go with that or you gonna lean towards your higher self, because it says out here, a new perspective, enlightenment, a deeper insight, sacrifice, change, and release. That's what it says for you. So are you going to let them tell you who you is and who you not? I don't care if they knew you your whole life. I don't care if they feel like they gave you the most valuable lesson that you ever learned in your life. Guess what? God is greater.
You know, and people are not going to understand your vision because it's not their vision. It's not for them to see. You know, God didn't put it in their mind, their head, right? Their heart. So stop expecting everyone to agree or, you know, respond in a certain way when you express things about your vision. And some of y'all need to stop telling everything about your vision. You know, your vision is exactly what it is. Your vision, something that God gave to you, because guess what? He wants you to be able to see it. And you know what the enemy does? The enemy sends in family members and be like, I don't think you should do it. I wouldn't do it if I was you. Right? No, they don't have the heart to do it because they're not you, because God didn't give them the task that he gave you. Right? So what happens is we then begin allowing people to persuade us from doing something that God told us to do, right? So
they do it fast too.
Yeah, people.
As soon as you mention it, you feel it enter. I don't think that's gonna work.
Whole time,
I wouldn't do that if I was you.
You know, it's the same people that, you know, they'll block you and try to do the same thing you do behind your back. Like, it's that kind of phony energy.
They the type of people you get money, right, and you be like, I think I'm gonna buy a car. And they be like, well, you know your license ain't right. I wouldn't do that. They not the type of people that be like, yeah, get the car and then get your license together, right? They be like, nah, I wouldn't get the car because you know your license ain't, you don't do nothing but drive and end up getting locked up. I wouldn't do that, right?
When the whole reason is they just don't want you to have a better vehicle. They don't want you to have a car. They don't want you to have a better vehicle than them. They don't want you to be, you know, self-sufficient. They, you know, people love when you are codependent on them.
It makes them feel good.
You know, control, right? A person that loves control, what do they want to do? They want you to be they want you to rely on them. So a lot of times, you know, they want to be a provider, right? So that they can take things away from you when you're bad. Let me spank you like a child, right?
Yeah, right.
So it's very important to make sure that you guys are standing on, you know, standing on your business. And, you know, if you are in these kind of predicaments, making sure that you're making a way to get out of these kind of situations, because God that's not what you are designed to be doing. Like, you know, that's not who you are, and that's not what you're built for. And I'm feeling this in the energy here. Okay,
definitely not put here to be taken advantage of
at all. Okay. Now, you know, it's crazy because some people, you know, they think they take advantage of you, but they don't understand that when they do things like that, they really abuse themselves, because abusing you is like abusing God. You know, it's like when people think they're getting over on you, they don't understand that you were sent to them by God, because God sends you a lot of places. That's why you find yourself around a lot of different odd, mysterious kind of people, because you're being placed in these predicaments because your energy is needed in these predicaments, right? So we got 1001 coming out for you. Okay, it says abundance, manifestation, abundance, money, dreams, vision, and prosperity. I told you something about your vision. You have a very clear vision of who you are, you know, where you're supposed to be, what God wants you doing. And I feel like, you know, yeah, you may have been thrown off your course a little bit at times, but I feel like there's something that always brings you back, you know. And that's what happens when you are a child of the Most High. You know, you might go out, but there's something that reels you back in, okay? It says focus on the good and maintain your concentration on the outcomes you desire. So this is pretty much saying, like, you know, if you are a person, right, and you constantly concentrate on the negative things, then that's what you manifest. So Spirit is saying do something opposite. Focus on good things and maintain your concentration on the outcome you desire. So for me, right, you know, I would say, you know, I'm concentrating on, exactly how I envision my life right now, where I see me and my family, right? I'm already seeing me and my husband and my family in certain places. I'm already seeing certain things. I already know God wants us doing certain things, and you have to be able to see these things as well. It's very clear here what's happening. Okay? Focus on the good and maintain your concentration on the outcomes you desire. It's time to put your faith and your time into your ideas and pursue your goals with all your might. You have such a beautiful, courageous, and brave spirit. Okay? Your spirit is wants to be free. That I'm seeing someone, it's almost like your spirit is trying to burst up out your body. Because it has a job to do. And your soul, your spirit, it knows it has something to do. And imagine if you're sitting still and not doing what your soul or your spirit wants you to do. It's ready to burst out.
It create frustration.
Okay. Then we got the sky of clarity. And it says soar into the boundless sky of clarity, where the insights are infinite and the skies expand. Okay. So it's like, I feel like with the sky of clarity, you can see exactly what's going on right now, so it's pretty much like the energy of choose wisely. You know what it is. God is showing you things very clear right now. Some things you don't want to accept because that came out, it can be hard to accept some of these things that are being revealed, sometimes the truth is harsh, right? But it's the truth nevertheless. So that's what I'm hearing. Spirit is saying, yeah, it may be harsh, but it's the truth nevertheless. Because some of you guys prayed for this truth. Some of you guys literally prayed for a truth, and now it's being revealed, and you refuse to accept it. And Spirit is like, well, look, I'm giving you exactly what you asked for, right? Be careful what you ask for, because someone asked for the truth, and you got it, and that shit did not feel good. But I'm so glad that you got what you asked for, because I feel like it's going to help you heal. You may not understand it right now, but I feel like going forward in your journey is a part of your healing. So you could be going through that right now.
Oh, somebody, if Spirit gave you a name or a title and you know it came from Spirit, don't let other people convince you that that's not the title you should go by. Right? Simple as that. Don't change for people, right? When you chose to walk a spiritual path, then you chose to leave the opinions of others behind. Because no matter what you do, right, nobody's going to comprehend what you're doing. You're doing something that's greater. So if Spirit, you call yourself whatever, people going to say you ain't that. So you going to let them tell you that you ain't that, or you going to be that?
Okay. So,
all right, y'all. We're about to wrap this thing up.
I'm tired of getting bit up. Okay? The mosquitoes that had a good time over here on your girl, feasting down. They was eating down, baby. They was eating down. Okay?
We appreciate all the love.
We love you guys so much. Thank you guys for rocking with us. Thank you for all of your love, all of your support, all of your donations. If you would like to support our channel, all of our information is on our page. We thank you guys so much for your energy, your time, your love, your patience, your willingness to hear what Spirit is saying, what God is saying. And, we'll be back later. We might come back and do a late night PJ session or something. Or maybe we'll jump on YouTube. If you're not already, follow us on YouTube. We're Elemental Beings Divine News. Thank you guys so much. If you enjoyed the live, we will hope that you will follow the page. We Elemental Beings, and we'll catch you guys a little bit later. We Elemental Beings. We love y'all.